this video, you and I are gonna create this $20 DIY light, and I'm gonna show you a couple techniques. One of them, via light painting, we're gonna create these images.
My name is Pi, and I'm one of the founders of Lynn and Jersa Photography and SLRLounge.com. We're teaming up with Adorama to bring you a new series of photography tutorials called Master Your Craft right here on Adorama TV. So let's dive in.
What's up, friends? My name is Pi. Welcome to Adorama TV and welcome to our studio. Let's get straight into this, starting with what you need for these techniques. I'm going to show you two shots. One is just going to be a standard shot. The other one's going to be a light painted shot. You guys can play to your heart's content, taking this, making it your own. Let's first talk about the actual stuff you need. And I'm obviously holding the light. Beyond this, the first thing that you need is your camera, your lens. Anything is going to work so long as you can control your shutter speed, you have manual control, you're good. I'd also recommend a tripod. And you're also going to need a room like this one where you can basically shut out the lights. A garage will work totally fine. Anywhere where you actually have control and you can cut out all your ambient light. Beyond that, well, I have this. So this is a bronze ring that I actually found on Amazon, and a string light that I also found on Amazon. You can find these, I would imagine, any local craft shop or whatever you want, but this bronze ring is roughly like 12 inches in diameter. I got that right in a previous. A bronze ring that's roughly maybe 1 foot kind of in diameter. Wait, is it diameter?
It's diameter.
Is it diameter?
Yeah.
This from here?
Yeah, diameter is full, radius is half.
Okay. Oh, wait, but what is the, oh, that's circumference.
Circumference. But diameter.
Anyway, about 12 inches wide, and what I've done is just taken this simple LED string light and wrapped it around, and then just used masking tape to basically tie it to this. So we have this handy dandy little light that we're going to use to make some creative portraits. Now, let me introduce you to our subject. Sabrina, why don't you come on in? This is my friend, Sabrina Miko. You can find her on Instagram, literally at her name, Sabrina Miko. Sabrina, have a seat right there. What I'm going to do is give this to Sabrina, and we're going to start with kind of the first of a series of steps. You know what? Let's first start with our before shot. And if you know me, you know my before shots have to be like really, 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 really bad, because I got to make the after look really, 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 really good. So Sabrina, kind of like hold the halo over the head, and yeah, there you go. And I'm gonna take a shot with all the lights on for basically what we're gonna go for. And I'm at 1/200 f2 ISO 400. Does that matter? No, because this shot is horrible. Sabrina looks great. You look fantastic. The photograph that I took looks horrible, okay? But that gives you an idea of what this looks like with our ambient light turned on. So obviously step number one is to turn off all your ambient light, which we're gonna do first before I even worry about composition or anything else. You might also be wondering why I'm holding another phone, which is not my phone. I'm gonna be holding several phones in this video. Coming back to this side, what I'm going to do now is focus on composition, and to do that, obviously if I'm using the live view, I have to get it bright enough where I can actually see. So I'm just going to let the shutter drag down to like 1/10 of a second and 3200 ISO-ish. What I'm going to do now with Sabrina holding this, the reason why I like this is not only does it look kind of cool as this halo, but it creates a little bit of light on the face. In fact, we're going to tweak and get to a more refined shot, but I'm just going to take this shot so you guys can have something to look at. I love the way that this looks for several reasons. And while we're going to make adjustments, let me talk about the hand placement. So what I'm thinking is like kind of using the hands as sort of arms. Obviously they are arms. What do you think about that, Sabrina? We're going to use the hands as arms. Is that cool? We're using the hands to kind of lead back and into the face. So it creates a little interesting shape. And what I'm going to do with the camera is give her a little bit more headspace so that way I can control the crop a little bit in post. And I'm going to work composition. So as you guys know, the first thing that I like to do is just kind of dial in compositional elements. Okay, and then Sabrina, I want a little bit more back. So kind of turn the back to me a little bit more. There you go, just like that. And I'm going to give her a tiny bit more headspace and basically crop right about there. This looks great. So compositionally, I'm good. The next thing I'm thinking is ambient light. And for this one, I'm not really doing a long shutter drag, like we're not going seconds, but I am going to leave the shutter fairly slow because there's not a lot of light coming off that LED, whatever that is, LED string light. So what I am going to do is I'm at f2 and ISO 1600. I'm actually going to pull it down to 800 ISO, f2, and we're going to slowly bring this down to around, I think 1/4 of a second is good. 1/4 of a second is slow, it's a shutter drag, but it's fast enough that Sabrina can hold still on, okay? And what we're gonna do from here is I'm gonna see if I need to modify. Now I don't have flashes to modify, so if we're looking at step 3 of camp, I'm not like adjusting, you know, flash lighting, but I am gonna adjust the actual LED. And what I want is for Sabrina to kind of bring it towards me so it gets a little bit more of the face. And I'll show you the difference. Sabrina, lift the LED light up and put it kind of behind you a little bit more, okay? So this is what it looks like when it's just like over the top and kind of to the back. What I want is for her to bring it forward towards me and to kind of like bring it over the face, tipping it towards the face a little bit so we get more light right there on the face. And the difference is huge. It's a subtle but massive difference in the overall look. So that's the modifying I'm gonna do, and basically we're ready to photograph. This is the first look that I want. The only tweak here is, Sabrina, you have the remote in the far hand where I can see it. I want you to flip hands. There you go. I want you to give me a little more back. Turn the back towards me more. There. And that's it. I want you to look down right towards the shoulder. Bring the ring light down just a little. Right there. And I love that. Okay, I'm going to take a couple shots because I am working with a slow shutter. So Sabrina, hold perfectly still. Here we go. 3, 2. 3, 2. 3, 2. I'm going to zoom in just to make sure that those are sharp. Perfect. I dig that. I'm going to make one little modification. Notice that I'm going to use my phone for something in just a second. Right now I'm using Viet's phone. He's on behind the scenes. What's your password, bro? Viet gave me his password and bank information, and I'd like to take a break so I can go make a withdrawal. But meantime, what I've done is I actually just used his phone to pull up a blue screen. All I did was actually take a shot of a blue image and then just zoom in so it fills the screen. You're gonna brighten it, and you can do anything for this. I'm just gonna brighten this up so it's like maximum brightness. And I'm actually gonna use this, because we're dragging out the shutter and we're using high ISOs, a little bit of light goes a long way. So I'm using a complementary color to the yellow, to the orange that's gonna come off that LED, and I'm gonna put this kind of right onto the wall behind Sabrina. So we're just gonna place it right there and get a little bit more blue in the shot. So now Sabrina, bring the light back up, and it's kind of crazy the effect that this has right there. I love that. Now what's crazy is you look at this and we just added a phone with a tiny bit of blue, right? But so much of it comes through because we're running with a slow shutter and we're using a higher ISO, so we're picking up a lot of ambient light, even though to the eye we can't really see it. This is fun for technique number 1. Let's go into shot number 2, where I'm going to show you another creative way of using a light like this. This time, I'm going to actually use a shutter drag. So what we're going to do is I need to get my shutter drag to around 1 second. I'm going to dial this to 1 second and then lower the ISO to around 1/200th of a second. What is 1/200th of a second for ISO? 200 ISO. So that way we have a similar kind of exposure. In fact, what I might do is bring it a little bit brighter. Let's go to 400 ISO. Now I'm going to use my phone to control the actual shutter, okay? Because I'm going to have Sabrina kind of hop into a pose. I'm going to grab the light, okay? And Sabrina, look down into, so I can actually see. So I'm using just the regular Canon camera app. Use whatever app your camera has. And what I'm going to do as well is lock the focus, so that way my focus is not shifting and changing. I love the position, the back, everything's great right now, Sabrina. Okay, I'm going to turn this off, so now it's not going to change. Now, Sabrina, the only thing I'm going to do is I can actually adjust this where I want you to bring the hands to the left a little bit more. There you go. Let me see. And then tip the right hand into the face more. Like, bring it back even. Almost like you're, yeah. There you go, right there. Look down to the shoulder. There you go. Now, when I'm ready, I'm going to drag this through the frame. So this time what I'm going to do is actually bring this up and through and create different shapes with the light. So let's get going. I'm going to go. That already looks really cool. One thing, if you are doing light painted shots, it does help to not be wearing like brighter colors, because I get picked up in a lot of the shots. So a black shirt or just naturally dark skin. I mean, this is helpful for me. I have an advantage to taking shots like this. So the fun thing about this is you can play with this and do different shapes, different motions. Each time you're gonna get something different, something unique. Make adjustments, decide what you like, and go from there. If you find that you want more time to paint, add time to it, lower your shutter speed, slow it down, and then go ahead and reduce the ISO. So I'm gonna go to 2 seconds. Sabrina, you're gonna hold perfectly still for 2 seconds now. Get ready? I love techniques like this one because you just get to get out and have fun at making photographs. I hope you all enjoyed. If you did, well, I'd love to hear your comments. I actually go through, I read all your comments, get ideas from them. So leave me thoughts, ideas, what you guys would like to see next time. Of course, we'd also love it if you'd subscribe to the channel. And we have tons of awesome videos going up on Adorama TV. So if you want notifications, click the bell. You guys know how to do it. You guys can find me at PieJirsa. We'll also link up Sabrina as well as all the gear we use in the description of the video. And I'll see you guys next time. Peace.